Welcome. For today's class, we're going to be using just body weight, and we're going to be targeting a bit more your inner thighs and obliques. So for this one, we're going to start lying down. Knees bent, feet flat on the mat. Make sure you're in a neutral spine, so you've got a little bit of space between your low back and the mat. And just start breathing here. Taking a nice deep inhale, letting your rib cage expand in all directions. And exhale, start to feel those front ribs drawing closer in towards each other. Feel free to have your hands around your rib cage to feel where your breath is going in space. Breathing in towards your thumbs and the sides of your ribs. Keeping those front ribs knitted together. And exhale. Further in. Last 3 breaths. Sending each inhale further towards the back of your ribs. And drawing that waist further in like you're being tied into a corset as you exhale. After that last breath, you're going to a diamond shape with your thumbs on your belly button, fingers on your pubic bone. Taking a deep inhale into your belly. And exhale, drawing your belly button away from your thumbs, starting to engage those low abs. Another deep breath. And exhale, drawing your belly button further in towards your spine. On this next exhale, tuck your pelvis by drawing that belly button so far in towards your spine, you press your low back down against the mat. Curl your pubic bone up and in towards your face. And inhale, rocking right back into neutral. Exhale, pelvis tucks. Inhale, coming right back into neutral. Last 2. And once you're back in neutral, you're going to place your arms long beside you on the mat. Make sure you have your feet about 6 bone distance apart so you can fit your fists between your feet. Taking a nice deep inhale, exhale, tuck your pelvis, and come up into your bridge, lifting 1 vertebrae up at a time. And exhale, melting your spine all the way back down. We're going to do 8 more like this, really trying to articulate your spine here. So you tuck that pelvis, draw your pubic bone in towards your face, then feel your tailbone lift off. Each vertebrae goes up 1 at a time until you reach your shoulders, probably just the bottom tips of your shoulder blades. Really keep that pelvis tucked, squeezing your glute, reaching your knees long over your toes, and exhale, melt all the way back down. If you want to add a little extra challenge, you can have your palms facing up towards the ceiling. Maybe your hands floating all the way up towards the ceiling. Last 5. We've got 4. 3. 2, you're going to hold that bridge up at the top. Excellent. And on this last one, holding that bridge at the top, you might want to bring your for this one. Keep the pelvis super tucked. And as you exhale, you're going to lift your heels and lower. Heels lift and lower. 4, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Hold it on this last one. Tiny pulses up an inch for 8, 7. Squeeze in your glutes for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Squeeze on this last one. Nice deep inhale. And exhale, lower your heels, melt your spine all the way back down. Nice deep breath. You're going to bring your heels together, toes apart, so they're in a Pilates V. Toes point out to the sides, heels are glued together, so you already feel your inner thighs turning on a little bit here. Take a nice deep inhale, we're going to go right back into those bridges. So exhale, pelvis tucks, coming up into that bridge. Really press your heels together, squeeze your glutes, and then exhale and melt all the way back down. Same options for your arms here. Palms flipped up, palms an inch off, or hands all the way up towards the ceiling. We've got 8. And 6. Four. Last 2. And final 1. Melting all the way back down. You're going to hold an external rotation of your legs, so you're going to have your feet wide. So have them closer towards the edge of the mat. Heels still point in, toes are pointing out to the corners of the mat. Make sure your knees are in line with your second and third toes. Taking a nice deep inhale, exhale, tuck that pelvis, coming up into your bridge, and then melting back down. Beautiful here. Last 8. Feel free again to choose where you have your arms, either pressed down, hovering, or lifted. We've got just 5 more here. Two. And on this last one, you're going to hold that bridge. All you're going to do here is bring your knees together and then back out. Knees together. 4, 6, 5, 4. Keep that pelvis tucked. 2. And after that last one, hold that external rotation. Tiny pulses once more, squeezing your glutes, thrusting those hips up for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Really tuck that pelvis and then melt all the way back down. Nice deep breath. You're going to bring your legs into tabletop, right leg up, then your left leg comes up to meet it. Make sure that your knees are just over your hips. Again, if those hip flexors are acting up, do a little floppy tabletop. That's going to help relieve them. Hands interlaced behind your head. Nice deep inhale. And as you exhale, curl up. And then inhale to rest your head back down. Feel like your nose is trying to reach up and over your knees. So we're not letting your chin crunch down into your chest. Head is heavy in your hands. Elbows are reaching long and forward. Excellent. 4-4. 2. Hold on this last one. You can reach those arms nice and long if that feels good. You're going to bring your heels together, toes apart once more here so your legs are in that frog shape. Keep your heels glued together. Keep your chest lifted and reaching long. You're going to send both legs out long. And then squeeze your heels together as you draw your legs slowly back in. And squeeze as you drag your legs back in. Imagine that you have a lot of resistance pulling your legs away from you as your knees bend. 4 5. 4. 3. 2. And after this last one, you're going to come up a tiny inch higher, send both legs long and hold them there. Open them wide and then click your heels together. Open wide and heels click. For 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. After that last one, draw your knees in, rest your head back for an inhale. Hands behind, legs out long. You're going to keep your head supported here with your arms, and you're going to lower those legs down an inch and up an inch. Down an inch and up. 4 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Beautiful. Bring your knees in towards your chest. Nice deep breath. You can rock from side to side, taking a nice low back release. Excellent. And from here, carefully come to lying down on your left side. You're going to be propped up with that left forearm. Again, if this does not feel good, you prefer to just lie down completely, you can reach your left arm long and rest your head on your arm. If you're propped up, you're going to have your elbow just underneath your shoulder. Make sure you're pressing that elbow and forearm down, lifting your chest away. You're going to have your knees bent, stacked over each other. Again, find that engagement so we're not sinking into your shoulder. Heels are going to be glued together, and we're going to go for a clamshell. So you're going to open your legs and close, kind of like a little Pac-Man. Beautiful. So here we're really targeting that glute med muscle, which is that outside hip and butt muscle. Helps with external rotation. It also helps maintain your pelvis stabilized when you move around. Think salsa dancing on Saturday nights when that was a thing. Going upstairs, running. Last 6. 4. 2. And after that last one, you're going to lift your entire right leg up, keeping it parallel with your left, and then lowering it back down. Lift and lower, making sure that your knee and heel stay in the same level the entire time. So we're not doing kind of like a little wobbly thing like this. At least not yet. Hint, hint to what's to come. Beautiful. You're reaching that right hip long. We've got 8. 6. 4. 2. Last one, you're going to hold that leg lifted. Reach it long. You're going to keep that leg long again. Imagine someone's pulling that heel away from you. We're we're just going to find an internal rotation of your leg, so your toes point down, then an external rotation, your toes point up. You're feeling your thigh bone rotating inside of your hip socket here, so that your pelvis does not move along with your leg. It's staying fixed in place. Stacked over your left hip. We're going to do 5 more here. Internal rotation, toes down, external rotation, toes up. 4, 4. Keep that leg long. 4, 3. 2, don't let your shoulders sink here. And after that last one, you can bend that knee back in. Excellent. You're going to reach your left leg long this time. Keep your right knee bent, your right foot flat on the mat. We're going to go for a little inner thigh of that left leg. So all you're going to do is flex your foot so your heel is pointing down away from you. And you're going to lift that leg up an inch and down. Up an inch and down. This is going to be a very small movement, but you should automatically feel your adductors, which are your inner thigh muscles, working hard to lift your leg. 4, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, hold on this last one, tiny pulses, beautiful here. Keep pressing into that forearm, lifting your chest away. 4, 6, and 5. Last 4, 3, 2, 1. Excellent. Lowering that leg back down. This time you're going to come down onto your stomach, hands by your chest. You're going to go for a kneeling plank. So keep your knees bent. You're going to have your hands just underneath your shoulders. Nice long line here. If you want to go for a little bit more of a challenge, you can always just tuck your toes and lift off into a full plank. Keep your collarbones wide with your biceps shining forward. So you've got this bicep pointing forward, pointing part of your elbows, pointing back. And going for a little tricep push-up here. Nice and slow, you're going to bend your elbows, lowering your chest down, and then lift. Making sure that as your elbows bend, they stay narrowed in by your waist. They're not opening out to the side. 4, 5. And 3. After that last one, you're going to tuck your toes on the mat, press all the way out into your full plank, and we're going to go for little hip dips. So here you're letting your right hip dip an inch down and then lift up. Then your left hip dips an inch down and lifts up. Don't let your entire body sway from side to side. We want to be using our internal obliques, which are right by your hip points, to control this movement. Beautiful here. 3 more to each side. Keep your collarbones wide. Keep your chest lifted away from the floor. Last set. Once you're evened out to the left, you're going to bring your knees down. We're going to go for some side lying on our right side. So again, choose if you want to be completely lying down or propped up on your elbow. Being propped up really gets you to use your obliques here a little bit more. Make sure your elbow is underneath your shoulder. You're pressing that forearm down, lifting your chest away. Hips are stacked and you've got your knees softly bent. Heels glued together. We're starting with that clamshell. Looking good. Making sure here that when you open your leg up into clamshell, you don't let your hip sway back and open up towards the ceiling. Keep your hips stacked, pointing straight forward. That way, again, we're really getting the outside of your hip and butt to work for this movement. Last 5, 3, and after that last one, keep your knees bent. You're going to lift that left leg up, keeping it parallel with your right, and then lowering it back down. Up and lower, still keeping that chest lifted. Excellent here. 4, 6, 5, 3, 2, hold up on this last one, reaching that left leg long. Again, feel like someone's pulling that leg away from you, lifting your hips up, your waist off of the mat, keeping that chest lifted. Keep your heel level with your hip. Beautiful. We're going to go for that internal rotation, toes point down. External rotation, toes point up. Internal, getting this movement again to come from that thigh bone, not just your foot or your knee or your hips. If it's your thigh bone that's moving in this rotation, we're really getting, again, all your glutes and that glute med muscle specifically to fire up. Last 4, 3, 2, after that last one, bend that knee back in. Right leg goes long. You're going to bring that left foot down on the mat. Keep that knee bent. Keep propped up. Flex your right foot. So again, heel is pointing back. Your toes are kind of curling up and in towards your face. And you're going to lift that leg up an inch and down. Up an inch and down. Getting those adductors to turn on like crazy. 4, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, holding it up on this last one, and pulses here. Beautiful. 4, 7, and 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Beautiful. Rest that leg back down. Turning onto your stomach once more. We're going to go for some planks here. Tuck your toes. You're going to carefully come up into your full plank, and we're going to go for some mountain climbers as soon as I clip this back on. Good. So again, you're keeping your collarbones nice and wide. Shoulders are open. You've got your biceps shining forward. You're just bending that right knee in, sending it out. Left knee in, sending it out. I want you to focus on form here. So think about keeping your spine long, keeping that pelvis slightly tucked so we've got those low abs supporting your low back. If this feels good, you want to go a little faster, feel free to do so. Excellent. 10 more seconds going at your own pace. 4, 5, 2, and once you're evened out to the left, and downward dog here for a nice breath. And then come right back out into that full plank. We're doing a twisted mountain climber, so right knee to that left elbow, and then left knee to right elbow. Really trying to get those obliques to draw your knee up and across. 10 seconds here. 5, 2, and once you're evened out, bring your knees down, nice deep breath. Relax your shoulders and carefully come all the way up to standing. We're going to go into the sumo squat. So I want you to have your feet a little wider than your hips. You're going to have your heels pointing in, toes pointing to the top corners of your mat. Hands can be on your hip, in front of your chest, wherever feels best for you. And you're going to exhale, sink down, and then press back up. Beautiful. I want you to feel like you're pressing your heels deeper into the mat, helping push yourself all the way up to standing. Keeping your knees tracking with your second and third toes. Don't let them knock in. 4, 4, 3, 2, holding it low here. Keep those low abs drawing in, tiny pulses, up an inch and down, up an inch and down. Again, getting these pulses to come from your inner thighs, from your glutes. 4, 8, and 6, 4, 2, stand all the way up for an inhale. Exhale, sink back down into that squat, and you're going to hold it here. Start by lifting your right heel, bring it down, left heel, bring it down. Excellent. If this feels pretty good, can you lift both heels up? Lift and lower. 4, 10. 7, 5, 3, hold it on this last one. Keep both heels lifted if you can. Tiny pulses, down an inch and up, down an inch and up. Excellent. Going here, 4, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold it. Bring your heels down. Stand all the way up. Nice deep breath. Excellent. You're going to bring your legs back together so you're in parallel. We're going to go for some side lunges here. So you're going to open your right leg out to the side, lunge, come back to center, then switch sides. Making sure that when you send your butt down and back into that lunge, again, you're drawing those low abs up and in towards your spine. You're pressing from your heel to come back up and center. Beautiful here. We got 10 more to each side. And 8. Six. 4. 2. And next time you send that right, actually no, stand all the way up. We're going to go for a side plank here. You're going to have your right hand down. Send your legs out long. You can have them stacked or staggered, whichever you prefer. Make sure you have your hands underneath your shoulder. Again, you're lifting your chest up and away from the floor, reaching that left arm up towards the ceiling, and you're going to lift that left leg and lower it. Left leg and lower, left leg and lower. 4, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Hold it on this last one. Beautiful. 4, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Carefully come all the way down. Nice deep breath. And we're going to do the other side. So again, making sure you have your left hand underneath that left shoulder. You're going to have your hips, your feet stacked or staggered. Right hand reaching up towards the ceiling so it feels like someone's pulling you up, lifting your chest away from the floor. Excellent. And you're going to lift that right leg and lower. Beautiful. Lift and lower for 5, 4, 3, 2, hold it here. Excellent. Keep lifting your chest away for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Carefully coming all the way back down. You're going to lie all the way down on your back. Excellent. Find your neutral again, so you got a bit of space between your low back and the mat. Bring your legs up to tabletop. And if that feels good, can you straighten your legs up towards the ceiling or hover straight up? It feels good. I have pretty tight hamstrings, so I have to softly bend my knees to get my legs to go straight up. You're going to interlace your hands behind your head, and as you exhale, curl up. Inhale and rest. Exhale, curl. Inhale and rest. For 8. And 4. 3. You're going to hold it in 2. Hold it on this last one. Can you send that right leg down? Lift it up. Left leg down. Lift it up. Beautiful. If you prefer, you can always have your hands behind your thigh of the leg that's straight up. And if this feels good and you want to go for a challenge, you can scissor your legs. So as one leg goes up, the other goes down. Excellent. 4, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring both knees in towards your chest. Nice deep breath here. You're going to straighten your legs once more. Exhale to curl up. We're going to go back into that scissor. This time when your right leg goes down, you're going to twist your chest to the left. And then switch. Switch. For 8. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring your knees in towards your chest. Rest your chest down. Nice deep breath. We got one last thing here. You're going to start with your legs in tabletop or floppy tabletop if that feels better for you. Hands will be by your hips on the mat. Keep your legs glued together. You're going to lift your right hip, sending your knees over to the left. And center. Then to the right. And center. Beautiful here. You can do this with straight legs as well. Adding a little extra challenge there. Maybe you still want to add a little extra more in. You can always interlace your hands behind your head. Keep your chest curled up, but keep your chest centered and grounded the entire time. So it's only your hips rotating here from side to side. Excellent. We've got 4 more to each side. Two. Next time that you have your hips lifted and twisted to the left, curl up a tiny inch higher. If you want a little extra oblique work, you can twist your chest to the right and pulses here. up an inch, up an inch, for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Coming right back to center, over to the right side with your hips. You can twist your chest to the left and curling here. Tiny pulses for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Coming right back to center. Rest your head, bring your knees in towards your chest. Beautiful, nice deep breath. We just have a plank challenge after this, and then we're stretching. For this plank challenge, I want you to be on your forearms. We're going to do some side plank rolls. So I want you to start with your forearms kind of stacked over each other as such. Toes tucked. Make sure you've got a nice strong form here. You're going to twist over to the left, reaching that left hand up towards the ceiling. I suggest you have your feet staggered here. It's going to be a lot easier. Coming right back to center. And then switch sides. Beautiful. Again, you're pressing your forearm down into the mat, lifting your chest away. And if this feels good, you want to add a little extra burn. You can let your right hip dip down, lift, come back to center, switch sides, hip dip, lift, center. Excellent. And if that's still not enough, you want to add a little extra burn. You can dip your hip and then go for a knee drive. Add a tap, reach long, and then switch sides. Hip dip, knee drive. 4, 5. And 4. Three. Final 2 to each side. Final set. And once you're evened out, coming right back to center, you're going to bring your knees down, reach your arms long, and child's pose. Take a nice deep breath here. See if you can sink your butt a little deeper towards your heels. You can walk your hands over to the right, finding this nice length in the left side of your waist. Trying to relax your shoulders and head. Keep that left hip heavy on your left heel. After that last breath, coming right back to center. And exhale, walk your hands over to the left. Finding that nice length on the right side of your waist. Again, keeping your right hip heavy on your heel. Shoulders and head relaxed. And back to center. Find an extension here. And then arch your spine like a cat. Extension. And and flexion. 4, 2. And after that last one, beautiful, you're gonna come all the way up. Have your legs nice and wide. Again, finding that external rotation. You're gonna sink down into this little sumo squat. Feel free to have your hands resting on your thighs or forearms, and you can just sway from side to side. Stand all the way up. Make sure your feet are parallel, so toes point straight forward. You're going to bend that right knee, sinking into this side lunge stretch for your inner thigh. And then switch. Excellent. And next time you bend that right knee, you're going to turn to the right side. Let that left knee come down onto the mat. Lightly tuck that pelvis forward and lean forward, finding this nice hip flexor stretch. If it feels good for you, you can reach that left hand up and over, finding a little extra length in that left waist and hip flexor. Feel free to pull that left wrist with your right hand. And come back to center. Sit back into that left heel. Flex your right toes, finding this nice hamstring stretch. Carefully coming all the way back up. Come back to center. Switch over to the left side. Right knee comes down. Lightly tuck that pelvis and lean forward, finding length in that hip flexor. Adding that lateral bend to the left side if it feels good for you. Reach your right hand up and over. Feel free to pull with your left hand. Back up to center. Sitting back into that hamstring stretch. Flexing your left toes up and in. Excellent, coming right back to center. And we are done. So this was our flow for today, focusing a little bit on inner thighs and obliques. Hope you guys enjoyed it. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, feel free to message in. And I hope you guys have a nice day.